Hi, everyone. We're back, and you know the drill. I'm going to put myself on mute, and then I will be back here in about a minute with my guest. All right. Well, I think we are ready to go ahead and kick off the show. Hi, everyone, and Happy New Year. And welcome to the first DSS break of 2020. Thank you for joining us. We're here live every Thursday to talk about data science experiences and best practices with leading professionals in a 15-minute break. I'm Anna Anderson, the CEO and founder of Formulated by, home of the Data Science Salon, and I'm streaming here live from our headquarters here at Formulated by in the heart of Miami, right next to the Design District. And to kick off 2022, I'm very excited to welcome Bob Bress, VP of Head of Data Science at Freewheel, a Comcast company, who is here to share a little bit about his data science journey and give us a peek into what we can look forward to this year as he shares his 2022 predictions for data science and machine learning. Welcome, Bob. It's super nice to have you here. I hope you had a good start to the year.
I have, and Happy New Year. Thanks for having me. I love the work that Data Science Salon is doing. So, it's great to be here.
Awesome. Well, it's really nice to chat with you. And I think I would love to kick off. I know that you've had such a great amount of over 15 years of experience in the industry, and you have a lot of experience in developing and implementing complex analytical solutions for really bleeding edge technologies and advertising programs. And could you tell us a little bit about the journey, how you got to this place? Because this isn't very, a lot of people don't even understand what this is, right? So maybe you could share a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I've worked in a number of industries over the years. I think the big shift for me was getting into the ad tech space about 11 years ago. So, at the time that I got into the ad tech space, there wasn't nearly as many data and analytical professionals in that industry as there are today. I mean, it's really grown quite a bit in that time. And 11 years ago, I started with a company called Visible World, which was an advanced startup focused on developing technology for addressable TV advertising technology. So essentially, being able to target households with ads on traditional television. Um, that company was acquired in 2015 by Comcast and rolled into what's now known as Freewheel within the
Mhm.
Comcast advertising division. And Freewheel is really focused on connecting buyers and sellers of video advertising across all kinds of video advertising ecosystems. So traditional television, CTV, anywhere you might see a video ad. And so there, I've had a great opportunity to develop data-driven advertising technology at a large, really worldwide scale, and I lead the data science team there.
Cool, nice. And I know that you've been a really frequent conference speaker on analytical innovations for the media and advertising industries. And how do you think these industries will evolve as the data science and the data actually continues to expand and grow to like huge, astronomical amounts?
Yeah, I think like many industries, media and advertising companies are racing to find great analytical talent. I mean, it's just such a hot market for talented data and analytical professionals right now. And, I don't see that slowing down in the near future. Um, Media and advertising companies, like those in other industries, are all realizing that they need to leverage their data assets in a way that really drive value for their clients in
Right.
innovative and insightful ways. And so, in order to evolve to do that, right, they have to shift how their organization is structured, right? They need to develop more specialized teams with the right data skills, right? So teams like data science, data engineering, you know, cloud computing, you know, really all facets of how we work with data. The organization will have to change to be able to handle that. On top of that, you know, we're seeing that all facets of a company need to have a level of sophistication with data, right? So that it's not just product and engineering, but it's human resources, it's marketing, it's operations, and you know, to be really competitive in this space, companies are going to have to adapt to have a level of data expertise all across their company to be competitive.
Right. Yeah. No, that's definitely true, and I think that's catching up to people really quickly, especially now.
Yeah.
And what about keeping up actually and getting more value out of the data, right? Because there's so much of it now. How do we really move forward with that, right? Because I feel like that could be really overwhelming, and a lot of companies are just sitting on the data. They're not really even using that stuff, right? So,
Definitely. And I think more and more across the board, you're seeing for companies to drive value and innovation, it's really about how much can we get out of our data and how can we do more and more sophisticated things with the data that we have. And you know, so part of the effort that companies are making is, as you said, collect more data, right? So companies are collecting and storing and processing more and more data than they ever had in history. And if you think about where we're going to be 5 years from now, that's only going to increase, right? Companies aren't going to be storing and processing less data. They're going to be storing, processing, and leveraging more data, particularly as computing costs continue to come down, right? And so the challenge is in order to keep pace with this trend, they're going to have to hire staff who has a fluency with data and data science to be able to pull insights and innovation from that data. So that's going to require aggressive hiring, right? In the space, like we talked about, building up new sort of data centric teams that maybe didn't exist in the past. And that's going to include, like I said, data engineering, data science, and things like ML ops, right? So deploying machine learning capabilities in production and being able to do that efficiently and reliably is going to become more and more important. You know, on top of all that, right, this is a quickly evolving space. So when the companies that are going to keep up are going to have a focus on continuous learning, right?
mhm.
Staff that they hire has to be able to adapt as these new technologies develop and progress and new platforms, you know, come out. And you know, the companies that do that are going to be the ones that are most competitive.
Right, right. And what about the people? I guess what additional requirements do the employees in the data science field need to have? I
Mm.
guess, as you mentioned, there's now data engineers and it's a lot more different skill sets, right? But what other things do they need kind of to move forward with this, as the industry just, shoots forward in front of
Yeah,
us?
yeah, no, interesting question. And if you look at where we are now, there's more data science educational programs in universities and outside of universities than there has ever been, right? And
Mhm.
so, in a way, there's an influx of people that are coming into the marketplace looking for jobs in this area. You know, as more and more people enter the space, I think you'll see more specialization, right? So, it's not just going to, you know, um, the most valuable data scientists, right, are not just ones who know statistics and modeling and machine learning, but know the context of the industry they're in a way that they can really solve real business problems, right? So that sort of understanding of particular industries and how to apply data science in those industries is going to become more and more important. Um, you know, I think the other trend you're seeing, right, is more and more automation around some of the tasks that data scientists and others traditionally do, right? You're seeing software that looks to automate more and more machine learning building process. The one thing you won't see automated is the ability for a data professional to take a business problem, translate that into a data science structure that can be solved, and then take the results and translate that back in a way that's going to be make impactful. You create an impactful business solution, right? So that's something that's not going to go away. And I think the folks that are really sort of looking to separate themselves from the crowd are going to be able to not just show they understand modeling and the statistics end of things, but that they have a track record of creating impactful business results based on that work, right? And so I think that's going to be the big piece for people coming into the space.
Cool. No, that's interesting. And I think if you were to give the people coming into the space some advice, what would that be?
Yeah, I think it's just that. I think there's a couple uh, things you want to have coming into the space. Certainly the technical knowledge, right? So staying up to date with the latest technologies and machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data science is important. The other piece is, and like I alluded to, is dig right into the context of the industry you're in. So whether it's media and advertising, finance, whatever it may be, uh, work with others across the company to get a deep understanding of the problems that they're facing, understand the underlying data and what it represents, leverage things like exploratory analysis to just ask questions, right? And have an understanding of the context you're working in. And then you're in a position to do maybe some of the more advanced modeling. So, that's really my advice for anybody who's getting in, is to really dig into that context, become an expert, not just in data science, but in your industry. And, at that point, you have a lot of power to do some great work.
Cool. No, I really think that's great advice. And thank you so much for sharing your story, Bob. And it was great to have you. And Bob just guest wrote a roundtable post for Data Science Salon about the more predictions for 2022. So you can read his full article I think the link was shared actually here. So, but thank you so much for joining us today, Bob. It was great to start DSS Break with chatting with you. And I hope you have a great rest of the weekend.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you again next week. Bye.